One thing before we finish here is I noticed that there's an extra / here in the output file, and there's an extra / when it names which file we're editing. And notice that in most of my programs, I like to put little information about what the program is doing at each point, especially that helps with debugging because then you'll notice little things like these. So even though it worked correctly, so I guess you don't have to go back and fix this, I want to figure out why that's happening because that's not supposed to be happening. It's a semantic error right there. So let's figure out where we're printing this. Changing metadata for /puppy.jpg. It should just say puppy.jpg. Okay, this time I'm going to search it right. There you go. Yeah, it's right there. So in this case, it's printing out file name. And that's right after this method is called. So it's just reading this in as a parameter, so we have to figure out where the method is called. And I remember that being right here. Yes. So once again, I'm backtracking. I know that my significant variable is this file name here because it's not what I want it to look like. And so I'm looking at where it was last modified. And I know it's here. And if I go back, the last point at which I modified it was here, where I set it to input. And so here I found the last /index. And here I set it equal to this little thing just sets it equal to the remainder of the string after the /index, or that's what it's supposed to do. So let's check if it's actually doing that. I'm going to go right here. And actually, why don't I go like this? Why don't I print it out after I've already set file? And we're going to terminate program right here so it doesn't keep going. Yeah, so you'll notice we have that extra slash in there. So my immediate thought is, let's take the start index, and let's increment it by 1. And then that's going to move 1 past the slash. Because if you think about it, the problem is I'm given some sort of string, and then it ends with /puppy.jpg, right? So if I use rfind to find at which index the last slash is located, it's actually going to return not the index of the slash itself, but the index right before the slash. So if you imagine the index as being in between the characters rather than the actual characters themselves. And so if I actually print from that index, or if I take from that index to the end of the string and I save that to file, well then I'm going to have that extra slash in there. So all I have to do is add 1. That should get rid of the slash. So let's check that. Yep, so now the slash is gone. So now if I rerun the program, I'm going to get rid of my print statement this time. And I'm also going to get rid of the output file just to make sure it still works properly. And now you'll notice there's no extra slash here and there's no extra slash here. And yeah, we still have our puppy image. And if we look, we can see that the metadata was successfully forged. And now I only tested one kind of input. I would ideally like to test all the different kinds of inputs. Like what if I gave it a folder instead of this specific file? And what if I tried a different mode? So just to show you, I'll do it one more time. This time I'll try a different mode. I'll try 2. 2, I believe, should randomize the date, if I'm correct. So let's delete this. And you'll notice it says changing metadata and then metadata changed successfully. So hopefully this time we didn't run into any errors and it randomized the date. Yeah, so this picture definitely was not taken in 1939. Yeah, I would keep going, testing different inputs, but I know that at this point I made all the necessary fixes to the program, so I'm not going to waste your time and do that. But that's how I would, this is an example of me in real time debugging one of my own programs. Hopefully you found this helpful.